dog down the hallway.
I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!
Good evening, everybody. Sorry. Good evening, Iowa.
Oh, Iowa, right. I'm sure they're all listening.
We are in Iowa currently. We are
on location.
On location, and we are feeling the burn. Iowa burning headlines.
I'm burning somewhere.
I'm burning something.
Yeah.
Anyways, hey, remember I was telling you about that movie from that Leonardo DiCaprio made?
Well, before you get into it, do we have a date?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
January or February?
31st.
Okay.
You know, this is leap year this year. It's February 29th.
That's right.
So, but today, it's January 31st, 2016, 5 p.m. East Coast time. If you want to be part of the show, give us a shout-out. Call us up, 772-49-SMITH.
And in less than 24 hours, we are going to be talking about results from Iowa, right?
Yeah, and the caucus.
It's tomorrow.
Right.
The Iowa caucus.
So Leonardo DiCaprio, that new movie?
Yeah. The one with the bear?
Yeah, the bear rape scene?
Well, that's alleged.
Okay, my buddy saw the movie bootleg.
It's he said, she said.
He got the movie bootleg at his house. He saw the movie, and he was talking with the bear. He's like, yeah, I saw that scene. I said, okay. Yeah, well, he gets attacked. And he gets away, and the bear comes back after him. I said, okay. Did he get? And the guy looked at me, and he's like real modest kind of guy. He looked at me. He put his head down a little bit. Man, that bear freaked.
Oh no! So you're saying that the reports that it was all a fraud and fake turned out to be a fraud and a fake?
He said the bear rape. He said it was so uncomfortable. He said it was so uncomfortable.
Wow. So it wasn't like a mauling. It was actual.
You replaced the M in mauling with another letter.
Okay. Interesting.
Anywho, this is Smith Radio. Your host, Brian Smith, along with
Carrie Smith,
giving you all the breaking news of last week. You just heard the Hollywood Report, and that's all you need to know about Hollywood right now.
I like the way you led with that. That was so important to Brian. That had to be the first thing of all the things that happened this week and what is coming up this week. Well, we had what happened this week? We had a sort of a debate.
We had a complete media meltdown.
Yeah.
We had Trump domination of the media. And he doesn't even have to be there to dominate it. We had the debate this week, the GOP
debate. The boycotted debate.
The boycott debate. And then everybody ascends on Iowa because the Iowa voting is coming, and that is the first stop of many stops where...
It's the state that decides our president.
Well,
there have 50 states, but one of them picks our president.
Well, and there have been people that win Iowa that don't become president.
I'll never forget. Now, I was really new in politics back then, but Rudy Giuliani was going to be our next president.
Right.
And it was a done deal. He's from New York City. All of the media, all the news, all of the dictates of what we're supposed to believe come out of New York City. So they were like, this is our man. So we are going to tell you right now that Rudy Giuliani is going to be our next president. Iowa happens, and then we had John McCain.
Flashback, folks. Glenn Beck. John McCain more dangerous than Barack Hussein Obama.
No way. You've got to be lying.
Fact.
Glenn
Beck said that.
Oh, what is wrong with him? He just says stuff and then doesn't even occur to him that it's going to sound so bad in the future.
And the only reason, and I know I told you, the audience listeners, and I apologize, this will probably be the last time we ever talk about him.
Who?
Glenn Beck.
Okay.
Because currently his radio station, The Blaze, is burning.
Well, it is called The Blaze.
Right. It's the article from Breitbart, The Blaze is burning.
What, you mean like they're in flames?
Yeah. Good buddy.
They're in fuego?
In fuego. Good buddy and CEO, now former CEO, up and up walked out along with 4 other people. Top executives.
Probably Trump supporters.
Yeah, probably Trump supporters. Top executives leave the Blaze, as well as the Blaze changing hands of CEOs 4 or 5 times in the last 3 years. A lot of turmoil. His numbers, unique visitors to his website were 26 million a month, now down to 14 million. His personal website, glennbeck.com, was in the 15 million unique visitors a month, now down to 4. I mean, it's in the millions.
I'm not surprised.
Take a drop that much.
Right, you're going to lose. First of all, Democrats are not listening to Glenn Beck. Let's just get that off the. So, at least 20% of the people will never listen to Glenn Beck. Minimum, because that's 20% of people who are the diehard Democrats.
Right.
And then you got 40% that are independents. A good portion of them may lean liberal that will never listen to Glenn Beck. And a good portion of the independents that lean to the right are going to think he's a kook and not listen to him. So that leaves 40% of genuine conservatives that may listen to him. Out of those 40%, probably as many as 40 to 50% of those really like Donald Trump. So that doesn't leave very many people left over who are not completely insulted by the way he's been reporting for the past, 3-4 months.
Right, and the thing is that I mean, I know, like Rush Limbaugh talks about it. He's not a reporter. Rush Limbaugh, I am not a reporter. I just bring you the news and the stuff you need to know, and then I make sense about it. That's what we do here on Smith Radio. We bring you the news of the past week, make sense of it all, give you our take on it, give you our opinion on it. However, there's this fine line. We don't here at Smith Radio want to be seen as driving our...
Driving what?
Driving our people from one way to another way. I want to put it all out there, put the facts out there about each and individual candidate. We have not picked a candidate. We're not supporting one or any of the other candidates until the America decides, and hopefully it's America, not the media, decides who's going to be the nominee.
Did you just call the media not America?
No, hopefully not the media, but America.
Okay. So does that mean the media is not America?
No, they are not American. They're Americant.
Oh, okay, I got you. I agree with that.
So when the people decide who our nominee is going to be, that's it, and that's who we're all in for. It just has to be that
But in
way.
the meantime, there are times where we're talking about a certain candidate, either positively or negatively, for real reasons. Like, I feel like Glenn Beck and people like, a good example would be Megyn Kelly. I think Megyn Kelly unfairly is trying to destroy Trump. I think that Glenn Beck is unfairly trying to destroy Trump. And I don't think that when we are saying anything bad about a candidate, we had an episode where we talked about Cruz with regards to what natural-born citizen means and the birther movement and all that kind of crap. I think it's a fair criticism and a question to be asking about what in the world natural-born citizen means, and if it means what I think it means, how important is it that we adhere to that? And why was it that the founding party, so there's that kind of criticism. And then sometimes you hear us really talk up Trump, but we're doing it for good reason, not because we don't want anybody else to be the nominee except for Trump. I would be perfectly thrilled with Cruz if I could, as long as we're okay with the whole natural-born citizen thing.
I'm going to tell you right now, I've been thinking about this all week. I've got a lot of problems with Cruz and his citizenship.
Mainly because, here's the thing, Cruz himself, let's just put Cruz in a bubble here. Cruz himself, every way, shape, and form, his entire upbringing, his love of America, not the love of his country, but America. Oh, whoa! No, I'm just kidding.
Yikes!
No, I'm just kidding. But he was born in Canada. But come on, I mean, And he did just denounce his citizenship.
He was a Canadian citizen all up until 15 years ago.
No, less than that. He denounced his citizenship in 2011, I believe. You might want to Google that. You might want to Wikipedia that.
No, that's fine. I've got the Trump's national spokesperson, spokeswoman.
Hurricane Katrina.
She is a hurricane.
Wow.
She's an exotic Brazilian hurricane.
Is she American or Brazilian?
She is American and calls Cruz's spokesperson out and says, "Yeah, we talk about flaming liberal. Well, how about your boy's a flaming liberal 15 years ago? And he was a Canadian citizen."
Yikes.
Okay, help me out and tell me why and his mom was only an American citizen, and apparently at the time his dad wasn't when they lived in Canada, but when they all came to America. So he has one parent that's a citizen. He's born in another country, and his dad is not a citizen. I've got a lot of issues with that.
Well, and let's just... We're going to redo that show.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
We've talked about this in a previous show, but the thing about Cruz, when you put him in a bubble, this is a guy that I think would be a great president. Right. I seriously don't have worries that he is a Trojan horse. I don't believe that. I don't believe that he's this guy that's going to secretly hand over the keys to our country to Canada. I don't believe that. But here's the problem. There's a reason why our founding fathers wrote what they did about the eligibility of the possible presidents we have from that point going forward. There is a reason for it. And so if we just go ahead and turn a blind eye to Cruz because, well, maybe all that worry and caution doesn't apply to him because he's such a American-loving patriot. Maybe it doesn't apply to him. But if we make the exception for him because he passes on everything else, he passes muster on everything else, then what does it say about another future Barack Obama who is clearly trying to hand over the country to Iran?
All right, here.
Or to communism or whatever, or try to turn America into a communist country.
Check this out. Here's my take on this. And here's an example. At our church, when we drop our kids off, we take them down in the basement and we drop them off and stick them in the different rooms that they go into according to their age. Before we put them in that room, there's a check-in station where you check in by clicking on your kid's name. It spits out, I got 3 kids, it spits out 3 tickets for each one of the kids. The boy's a baby, so it spits out a 4th ticket and it says, "This belongs to Grant," and I stick it on his diaper bag. And then a 5th ticket comes out with all their names on it in little letters split into like 4 different, so I can actually tear the ticket up if I want into like 4 different pieces. I keep that ticket. All the kids in their room. When I come to pick my kids up, and granted, my kids are old enough, and we've been going to this church for 4 years, and they all know us. They all know our kids, because they've been raising our kids, if you will. When I go to pick the kid up at the room, I got to present that ticket. Right?
So if you lose the ticket, they just keep your kid.
Okay, this is the first time. Bailey checked all the kids in and left all the tickets in like a trash area that nobody saw and I didn't know, and they all took off. Everybody's in their room. I ain't got no tickets.
Oh boy. Problem.
So I went to go get the kids, and the pastor for the kids' youth minister looked at me and said, "Oh, come on, Brian. Come on. You know you got to have the ticket." I said, "Yeah, but look, my daughter, she's just screaming at me. Nope. We got to go back upstairs. Got to go back upstairs and get the tickets." I said, "Okay." My wife already went. So wife went up there. Wife comes back down. "I don't know how to do a re-ticket." He shuts the presses down, takes the wife upstairs, reprints the ticket, comes back downstairs, gives it to me so I can get the rest of my kids. And he looked at me and he said, "Brian, I do this on purpose because if I do it one time, and you see how difficult it is to reprint the ticket, and it's embarrassing, it won't happen again."
Well, not only that, but if he does it one time, all of a sudden it just doesn't become that important.
We are following the rules to a letter of the law
for a reason.
for the kids. And I'll tell you what, the reason why we loved this church for the school program is